Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time stopping by, what's poppin'? Okay, so today I wanted to do something a little bit different, go back to my roots of YouTubing because I'm more than just a makeup artist and I come on here, I do makeup a lot, and I just wanted to talk to you guys and like yeah, because initially when I first started YouTube, it was like mainly for motivational speaking. I don't know, just to tell my story, and I kind of feel like, I haven't been doing that lately. So today I'm going to be giving you guys the first episode of Temi Talks. So this is just me talking, me, Queen Temi, talking about life. So today on this episode of Temi Talks, I want to talk about toxic relationships, like whether it's friendships, family, dating. I don't know, just toxicity, toxic. I'm just trying to make up words. Toxic stuff. So, yeah. So today. So I just want to, today I want to talk about toxic relationships, just dealing with them, and how to identify when you're in a toxic relationship, and yeah. So do you guys like my new set? Hey. I spent a lot of work to make this and a lot of money. So I wanted to change my background a little bit, but anyways, yeah. So let's get into it. So toxic relationship. So what is a toxic relationship? So we're going to use Google. According to Google, a toxic relationship is a relationship characterized by behaviors on the part of the toxic partner that is emotionally, not infrequently physically damaging to their partner. Keep in mind, it takes two individuals to have a toxic relationship. Yeah, I heard that. It takes two. Okay, so basically, toxic relationships can happen with friendships, with family, with you dating, and yeah, I feel like a lot of people have been in one. I know for myself, I've been in toxic relationships, and really one way to identify, other than what Google said, when you're in a toxic relationship is like, how is the person like sucking the life out of you? Like, when you're conversing with the person, do you feel more encouraged? Like, do you feel more motivated, or do you feel like they kind of took a little piece of yourself? Like maybe maybe your confidence, maybe they took like a little bit of your confidence. Like after you're done talking to them, it's like you're questioning something that you knew before, like you knew about yourself. So, and I feel like sometimes, when we're in a toxic relationship, it's hard to come out of, or sometimes it's hard to identify, because it's like you want to ask yourself, am I overreacting? Like, is am I how do I say it? Am I overreacting to how this person is treating me? Is it because of like, maybe I'm just seeing things that are maybe, yeah, basically one reason why we try to excuse toxic relationships is maybe we're like we're overreacting. And in reality, sometimes our gut knows more than we do. Like, we know that we're in a toxic relationship deep inside, but we're like, maybe there's something going on. So, another way to identify if you're in a toxic relationship is usually a lot of people who tend to be toxic. It's because of their insecurity. And so think about this. When one of my friends explained to me, like, there's something called like an emotional bank account, like how much is somebody really adding to you and how much are they taking away from you, right? So if you're with somebody, are they taking more from you than they're adding to you? Like, that's, just think about it. That's one way to really identify if your relationship is toxic. So one way I was able to identify with one of my friendships was, I had to ask myself, like, I had to do like a criticism versus uplifting ratio. Like, is the person criticize, like always giving me constructive criticism, how much is the criticism compared to how much they lift me up? And then, like there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, but like, it gets to a point where it's like, it's always criticism, criticism, criticism. Like, when are you going to like say something good, And also, is the person like, is this person so quick to criticize, but then whenever you try to, help them, build them up, they're always ready to attack you, like they're always on the defense. Like you're trying to tell them, they're always ready to tell you what you did wrong. But then when you're trying to help them out, from the kindness of your heart, they're always quick to attack you. Like you say something and then they're like, but you do this, but you do and then they point out 5 different flaws that you do. 5 different one of your flaws when you're just trying to help them out with one thing. And also, a toxic person is always someone who barely, sometimes they celebrate with you when you accomplish stuff, but then they always find a way to, in the whole celebration, your whole midst of celebration, they find one or little things to pick on and to make it seem like even though you're happy, you're doing something right, you're doing something wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, so a reason why some people stay in toxic relationships is because they're so I don't know, maybe they value the friend. I know for me, it's like I cared about this person, like I cared about this friend a lot. We've known each other for a long time. I love this person. Like, what am I, we grew up together, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I love this person. And, a lot of people, when people are in a toxic relationship dating wise, it's like, they see this person as, I can't live my life without them. I love this person so much, blah, blah, blah. I've realized this in a lot of relationships. When people are dating, it's like, they get into an argument, they fight, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They fight with the person insults them, maybe they may insult them back, and they feel sad, like their self-esteem is being affected, but then maybe the person apologizes, or they feel like they can change the person, so they're like, okay, I'm gonna get back with this relationship. But let me tell you guys something. You cannot change somebody. Let me tell you, you cannot change somebody who is not willing to change. And you cannot change somebody who does not know that they are making a mistake. Especially if you try to talk to the person about how you feel, how they're making you feel, and they're not willing to admit that they're wrong, or even change their way so that you don't feel that way anymore. There's a problem. And once again, it takes 2 people to be in a relationship, and it takes 2 people to be in a toxic relationship, like it says. So if you're the one on the receiving end, you're receiving the toxicness, then there's a problem. I don't know. I feel like for me, dealing with my relationships that have been toxic was, I had to come to a point in my life where I realized that I put myself first. The Bible says you have to love your neighbor as yourself, but you can't give love to somebody. You can't express love to people when you don't have that love for yourself. And a lot of people who are in toxic relationships, both the giver and the receiver of the toxicness, it's because they don't have this love. They don't have this love for themselves at the receiver's end. I feel like if you have this love for yourself, and you would put yourself, like me, I had to put myself first and my emotions. And what is this relationship doing? This relationship is not adding anything to me. This relationship is only making me look down on myself, lying down and when you're lying down in bed, thinking about what this person said and trying to let it not affect you, I don't know, that's just a big sign of there's something wrong, there's something going on. And I had to come to the realization, I need to love myself to the point that I don't let anybody just treat me anyhow. And on the giver's end, once again, like the Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. And if you truly have a genuine love for yourself, giving love is not hard. And, treating people in the way that people you want others to treat you is not difficult when you know yourself, when you love yourself. So there's like a breakage, or like a hole, or like something missing, like a little bit of more love for yourself missing when you're in a toxic relationship. And for me, I had to put myself first, my values, what matters to me most, first. And also, being in a relationship or relationships that are toxic, like I was talking to a friend the other day. They said something that's been sticking to my mind. Like, have I made some people too comfortable around me? Like, at the end of the day, as a person, you need to have walls. You need to have barriers. Speaking, bruh, I live in America, but my parents speak African English, so they say stuff differently than the way other people say. So the two get tied. Anyways, yeah. So you have to put up barriers in every relationship, and you need to have standards for yourself. And not everybody needs to be so comfortable with you. And for me, I'm an open person. I like to be open. I like to share my story. I feel like I'm a welcoming and warm person, but at the same time, not everybody's level of comfort with me needs to vary. Not everybody needs to be comfortable to the point where they disrespect you. When people are too comfortable that they disrespect you, there's an issue. I mean, for me, one thing that I don't tolerate disrespect. I don't tolerate it. That's just me. So when the level of comfort that people feel around you is how they react to you and how they react to situations in your life. So if someone is feeling too comfortable, and they should not be that comfortable that they can say anything to you and disrespect you and put down your confidence and just talk to you anyhow, there's a problem. So not everybody, you need to put up barriers into every relationship that you have. Not everybody needs to be that comfortable with you. There has to be a level. Everyone needs to have a different level of comfortability with you. So the level of comfort depends on the relationship. So please put that in mind when dealing with toxic relationships. And also, just once again, putting yourself. I'm not an advocate of selfishness, but this isn't selfish. This is you loving yourself to the point where you're not gonna let anybody treat you like crap. Okay? So sometimes in toxic relationships, you just have to leave. You literally have to just cut the person off. Because guess what? It's like, as I said, an emotional bank account. They're literally taking all of this withdrawing things from you, sucking the freaking life out of you. You literally can't do nothing. You need to put yourself first. Sometimes I know your heart is in the relationship. Your emotions are there. You love this person. You feel like you've invested so much into this person. You've given to the person. And trust me, I have a giving spirit, with my friends, with, everything that I do. I try to give to people. But when it seems like you're just giving so much, and sometimes you have to just, once again, put your boundaries and step back. Take a step back a little bit, because it's like, okay, you're giving so much, but then the giving is turning into something destructive. There's only so much that you can give as a person, and the only thing that you owe anybody is love. And if you've given so much love, but then the person is just sucking you dry, and throwing back hate, throwing back, words of destruction. Take a step back. I still give them love, but don't, how do I say this? Still show them love, in everything. I'm not saying hate them, don't hate them. Still give them love, but take a step back. Take a step back from always seeing them. You don't need to see them all the time. Take a step back from giving so much of yourself to this person when they're only going to hurt you. Toxic relationships, the things that people do to you, words Bro, words, like the Bible says, the power of life and death is in the tongue. Words can like hurt you and put you down. And there's some words, think about it, there's some words that people have told you since years ago that you still remember because it affected you in such a way that years down the line you still remember, and you're trying to like wash off those words. But let me tell you, the more that you let yourself be open to relationships that are toxic, the more that you allow yourself to hear words that make you look down on yourself, and those words, they prolong for years. So it's like when you're allowing yourself and you're opening yourself up for like destructiveness, for toxins, you're opening yourself for toxins, you're wasting your time. You're sucking in all of these toxins. It takes 1 second to inhale toxins, but it takes such a long time to get rid of them in your mind, to let them go, to stop looking at them, to stop looking at yourself the way that this person looks at you. Like, you're really doing more harm to yourself than good by just being in a relationship where the person is just really just sucking the freaking life out of you. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you need to like open yourself up and really realize that like you're hurting yourself by staying in a relationship that the person does not value you. When you value yourself, you have to stay around people that value you. So like, yeah, one of the biggest things I tell to people who are in toxic relationships is value yourself to the point where you value your time, you value your energy, because whenever people hurt you, I know all of us have been hurt one way or another before, but when people hurt you, it takes a long time to get rid of those hurts, especially when it's someone that you really care about. Like, it takes a long time to deal with that. So if you value yourself to the point that you value your time, your effort, your energy, because that time that you're using to spend on trying to let go of the hurt, trying to let go of the words, you could be using to be productive. You could be using to volunteer your time at charities and helping the world become a better place. Like, value your time to that extent. You could be using that time to make money. But if you're in a toxic relationship that you can't, that you don't know how to get out of, I would really advise you to talk to somebody. It's really good to have a supportive people around you that support you, and I'm sure that you have one person in your life that you can that supports you in a way. And if you feel like you don't, let me tell you, there's one person that I know that supports everybody in this whole world. That's God. And in your time of need, God always comes through. I guarantee you that. So like, whatever you're going through, sometimes it's just good to just take time, just talk to somebody about it, ask them for help, direction on where to go. If you don't have anybody, you think you don't have anybody, talk to God about it, and I guarantee you, God listens and He speaks to His people. So, yeah, that's it. I hope if you guys have any other advice for others going through toxic relationships, please, put them in the comments. And if you've been in a toxic relationship and you'd like to share your story on how you got out, please put them in the comments as well. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of Temi Talks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I can't see you, but you will see me next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at Queen Temi, and hit the bell right there to get notified. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.